Greetings and salutations. This is your local space boy broadcasting solo tonight, unless Serrano happens to roam into here to the studio. But beyond that, it's just you and I, and the topic is topic roulette. One of my favorite topics from the old Space Boy Universe archives. Except this is going to be live, and in fact, if you look at the bottom, there's a phone number if you want to call in. I'll be taking your calls tonight. Don't be bashful. Space Boy doesn't bite hard. Well, maybe a nibble, but and especially if you're Canadian, I love Canadians with a little maple syrup. But then beyond that, tonight is Space Boy Universe, and I want to thank you for showing up. It's been a crazy week, but we'll talk about that here in just a minute. And as always, follow us on the last remaining spot on Twitter, and that's at the SBU Universe. And you can put your thoughts and well wishes there. You can still follow us on Space Boy Universe on the Facebook page, but it takes a special person to be a space cadet. So you can also follow space cadets who love Space Boy Universe, and a lot of people are in that club, and you should be a part of that team effort too. A lot of the people are well known across the different streaming and live broadcasting units that are out there. And we're all a bunch of good friends, and we'd love to have you and show up. And the nice thing about tonight is we're broadcasting across three different channels. We got the Facebook channel we're doing. We're on YouTube. We're also on D Live. Yes, D Live is being broadcasted there too. Of course, I'm following all your messages on the chat program that it comes with this new program I'm using. Welcome aboard, Nethead. Good to see you. It's been a long time, my friend. I hope things are well for you and your significant other. And but it's just great to be behind the mic, and this is one thing I enjoy doing, and talking to you, and talking about a whole bunch of nonsense, and you put up with it, and that's what is so cool at the very end of the day for me when it comes to Space Boy Universe and Space Boy music, by the way, which you can get you a free track of just about all my music that's out there. And just remember to play it loud, and don't use it for commercial use, and life will be good for you. And et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So Solana is going to probably fall into the role of special guest every once in a while, depending on what's percolating on her part of the universe. And but for the most part, the brand name does say Space Boy, and so I need to get myself out of the saddle and back into getting you some broadcasting and hopefully some good topics to choose from. A conversation I had the other day with Solano was about I'd been listening to some more Dead, and he posted some neat stuff about abductions and things of that nature. And what came up in my mind is it's beyond Dead that I've heard say different conversations about how the aliens abduct people, and they tell us about the gloom and doom situation with the earth, and only you can fight fires and blah 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 blah. And what really gets me is that here they're telling us that we need to do all these things to help protect the Mother Earth, if you will. And when you turn around and you ask them, well, can you help us? Can you spare a dime, brother? And it's like, oh, I'm sorry, we can't interfere. Yet they're abducting um, abducting people, uh, and hey, we can't do anything. Okay, all right. I mean, in some of the abduction, they heal people, they things, they still our children out of the womb are women, and all in the sake of trying to just prolong their existence, because I guess they've blown themselves into a corner. Reminds me of Stargate SG-1, where the Asgard was about to die off, and the Asgard looks a lot like the Greys. So, but yeah, no problem, Ned. Says thanks, thank you. Happy to see the notification and listening. Well, good. I'm glad you're aboard, my friend. Welcome aboard, Space Cadet Nethead. It's good to see you on the chat window there, and hopefully we'll get down this rabbit hole as fast as we can and come up with some different topics and just kind of go from there. So yesterday, I went to my doctor's appointment for my neurologist, and it looks like I'm going to be sent to get a couple of MRIs and let's see what else. MRI. They prescribed me a pain medicine, which I'm looking forward to take it tonight. I should sleep pretty well tonight, and hopefully we'll get on down the road and see what's coming down the pipe. Hey, one of my favorite space cadets just showed up, Christopher Cummings. Good to see you, my friend. And uh, in fact, in the near future, when I revamp a few things, Christopher is going to be added to the list of special people that have helped out, and I appreciate you, Chris. I just wanted to share that with you. I'm so glad you showed up. In fact, I've been thinking about you lately. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chris. You're a truck driver, but what I've been thinking about was, I've been watching these videos on YouTube about these truck drivers, and and how these people just cut these people off, not realizing that they're pretty dumb because you need a little braking distance with these truck drivers, and it's kind of rude for them to like when I say rude, the driver in a car versus a truck, you know, of that magnitude, 18-wheeler. Reverb on YouTube stream. If you're getting a little reverb on YouTube, I apologize. I'm not sure what the dealio is on that. You can, if I hate to push you to another one, if you can get through it, let's get through it, and I'll have to do some IT work on that and see what's going on. And hopefully somebody could chime in and see if maybe Facebook is doing that or if D Live is doing that. I'm not sure on the other two, but you have some options tonight if indeed um, that is happening. Let's see here. I'll adjust a few things here and see if it changes. Let me know if we have a change there in the system here. All right. So, but yeah, just I was thinking about you, bud, and just thought I'd bring it up. Let's see here. We got a Facebook user that just showed up. Let me see who that is. Um, Facebook. Let's see here. Doesn't show who it is yet, but we'll find out here in just a minute. As I said, I'm flying solo tonight. Solana is got this, I guess, the sniffles, but um, hey, no problem. Anytime, Christopher. Like I said, I, uh, you know, I won't share too much, but Christopher shared an email or a direct message for me, and it really hit me there. And I'm just glad that I could bring a little joy to your life with some of my music. And when I say I was thinking about you, it wasn't in any kind of way other than we're all kind of a community of family members. And my brother, I'm glad you're listening and you enjoy the show. And hopefully we could start some rebuilding here, especially if I'm going to be more in the chair. Definitely try to get behind the mic, force myself. But I tell you, I was taking a nap before, and man, them power naps are just so nice. Not nice when they go too long, but a nap does you a wonder. And I really enjoyed that power nap. Let me tell you. Oh, it's K28 that's joined us. Hey, K28. I'm using my phone to monitor Facebook entries because I don't get to see who it just says Facebook user. So welcome to the club. K28 is another one of those members of the high echelon club that have been very supportive of Space Boy Universe, and we love him to death. In fact, he was the one that created the Space Cadets who like Space Boy Universe, and then I came in like a wrecking ball and took it over and made sure to do updates. And K28 is just a righteous dude. I got to meet him when he was coming down to Houston to do some kind of business thing with his company, and got to have dinner with him. Him and Solana and I enjoyed his company. It was just really nice to see him, and can't think of a better person to meet in person. person. And, it was really a thrill to meet 28. And so, we love him at the universe. And his corny jokes, I love. Kind of like my dad jokes that make Sir Lorna's eyes roll back and like, please stop while you're ahead. So, hey, I did get to see that movie Nobody with Bob Odenkirk, and it was a pretty decent movie. I enjoyed it. I don't know. I guess I'm getting to that age where I still enjoy a movie with an older guy. He was like a family guy kind of thing, and kicking butt. And of course, he had a past. And I'm not going to spoil it for you, other than I'll probably buy it when it comes out for purchase, for normal purchase on Netflix, not Netflix, Amazon. But enjoyed it immensely. I finished up on the MCU's um, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, or as I like to call it, Falcon and the Snowman. But it was all right. It was decent. It was nice to see Sam become. Oh, that was a spoiler. I shouldn't say that. But just know that it was decent. It would get us to the next MCU thing that's going to be coming out, and I believe it's What If. It's animated, and it's kind of like stories that are what if this happened, or what if this happened with this, and should prove to be interesting. But the real show I'm looking forward to is in June, called Loki, and that looks just really awesome. And so I'm looking forward to watching that. I got a few things on Netflix that I'm anxious to get dive into and watch and binge watch. There was a TV show on, I guess it was on NBC, called oh, what was it called? It has James Spader in it, and he's like this spy kind of person. And Blacklist, I think, is what it was called. Started watching that many years ago when it was first coming out, and I like James Spader. Um, One, because he comes from a movie that I really enjoy, Stargate, and he's a good actor. And I enjoyed him on Boss. I think it was Boston Legal it was on, and he was also in The Office for a short stint. And he's just a very interesting. Yes, thanks, Christopher, for doing that Blacklist. Isn't he pretty good in that movie? I mean, that show. I thought it was good. It's just, well, what I hate about watching shows or series on Netflix, or anything for that matter, is if you're only like 2 or 3 seasons in and you blow through it like binge watching, and then you have to wait um, for the next season to come out. I noticed that when I was watching The Flash, how I kind of lost interest when the next season came out. So what I try to do, I just try to be patient and let all the seasons come out, and or at least until it ends. I kind of did that with Hannibal. Of course, they canceled it, but still got to see all that, and that was a pretty decent movie, or I keep saying movie, TV series, and really enjoyed watching that. Kind of the evolution of Hannibal Lecter, um, and that whole thing was pretty decent. So just to remind everybody, phone number tonight is 832-831-9125. That is the new Spaceboy line for the universe, and that's 832-831-9125. You can call that number during show hours. If you try to call it after hours, nobody's here to answer it. So don't be funny and try to call it, and because you'll get nowhere. I will not. It doesn't ring out loud. I just have a button that I watch to see if a call is coming through. Nice piece of old technology that was purchased in part from listeners like you, and I appreciate you. So let's see here, checking this. All right, so let's see if there's anything out there I can bring up. We kind of talked about shows out there, and hmm, oh, well, the rumor mill about Lucasfilm is that Kathleen Kennedy might be going away. Maybe not soon enough, but you would think after pissing a bunch of people off at the corporate office that she would have gotten the boot, you know. So hopefully it won't be too much longer before Fabro is put in office of president over Lucasfilm, and we can get some decent Star Wars movies going and TV shows. I'd love them to rehire Gina Carano, but I don't think she's going to want to come back after all the BS that she put up with how she was let go and stuff like that. But hey, that is what it is, and so we'll go from there. And Here's a rant for me. I recently saw an advertisement. You kind of see them every once in a while on Facebook, where they were advertising this little game system where it had all the stuff like from the Atari 2600 to all the way up to the Sega Genesis, and had all these games all on this one unit, kind of like a Raspberry Pi unit. Well, I broke down and tried to order one against my better judgment, and I kind of did some more research, and I got had. They sent me the classic Nintendo, which it's not even the classic Nintendo. It's a facsimile of that classic Nintendo shape. It looks like a Nintendo, and on the system has 600 and something games, which I would already purchased one of these things. And yeah, let's see here. Chris is saying that yeah, I ordered a handheld, never received it. Yep. Well, I mean, I guess I shouldn't complain too much. I mean, at least I got something, which is better than nothing. It irks me because I was really looking forward to the. I had two analog joysticks that look like PlayStation joysticks, and they were um, kind of a wireless connection, and I was looking forward to using that with my computers so that I could play some of my games I got off of Steam. But anyway, long story short, got had. I think it was more like a bait and switch. And then I did some, I took the email, did a, checked out there and referenced it to see, the service and see if there's anything out there like scamming alerts. And sure enough, there was a thing out there about scamming about this particular email, and just made me feel stupid. I'm not usually one to fall down that rabbit hole, and um, I guess at some point, I might use it as a giveaway here on the SBU, um, as give me away, and we'll see how that goes. If I get knocked out, it depends. Usually, I complain a lot and get things done, but I will warn you about some of these things. I've not had a very good track record on Facebook with purchasing things, and it really irks me to death because the Facebook doesn't do enough vetting of some of these companies that are trying to sell these products, and I had to wait over a month before I finally got the product. And the way they do their thing on this site is that they wait for they say, well, after 30 days we can't return your money or whatever, and yada yada yada. And so that's the scam, is they make you wait all that time to um, fill out to try to fill out a refund kind of situation. And pretty much you're out of luck because their policy says that they won't refund you, which I think is a bunch of BS. I think there should be some more accountability in this situation. And um, I'll update you how that goes along, because I don't think that's the last I've dealt with this. I just, I firmly believe in justice, and some justice still needs to be served on that. And so we'll see how that goes. We got another Facebook user wishing us a good evening. At some point, I'll figure out who it is. Um, let's see here. Let's see. Refresh. Oh, it's Jim. Jim Malliard. I love listening to the old Mallard report. And good guy, Jim Malliard. I say howdy to Jim. He's a good man. If you get a chance to serve him, by all means do it. And then tell him Space Boy sent you. And or even tell him that you're a cadet, and he'll acknowledge you and probably respond in kind. And yeah, let's see here. No, I had a topic here. Let me see here. I'm just kind of roaming through my notes. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. And let's see. We talked about that. Also, if you're interested in a topic that you want us to cover, please send it to contact@spaceboyuniverse.com. Always accepting topics, or you can post it here on the Space Cadet channel. And by all means, we'll definitely go down that rabbit hole, and let you kind of program the channel according to what your wants and wishes are. So, what do you think about what I said a little bit earlier about the aliens, the Greys, pulling like hey, you need to do this, but we're not going to help you. And we don't believe in interference, non interference kind of thing. Do you think what's your crazy point of view on that? I mean, I'm sure you have some legitimate things. I think it's wrong. I mean, if you're going to come help us, uh, don't be that way. Don't wait until we're like the fourth race of the universe that are the sit at the knights of the round table, if you will. By all means, get in there, start helping us, and stop hiding in caves and underwater and let your presence known. I mean, quite frankly, I think that we've been subjected to so many movies with aliens and I guess the worst case scenario is that everybody thinks that aliens are going to come and take over the world and put us into submission. And I say to that, like, if they would have done that, they would have done it by now. Or and then you have those who believe that, well, uh, some of them have been replaced. Or when I say some people have been replaced by aliens themselves, whether it be just clones or some of the hybrid off-breed that have come along, or some believe in those reptilians. It just spin the wheel of the alien conspiracy and where it falls. I mean, you can't be too far off. I mean, and then you got to wonder how could the government keep this all covered up for so long? You know, and especially when you're dealing with different countries. The aliens have been in different countries, and the I think at some point I read something about there was a Soviet Roswell incident, and they've got their pack of aliens that they're been using, and we've got ours, and um, you know, I don't know. It's a lot of. I hate to sound like I'm getting more cynical as I get older, and the disclosure movement seems like a wash. But I don't think we should look at the disclosure movement as okay, but I'm here, sprinkles for everyone. Um, I think it's more like it's a subtle thing where they kind of piece it out, and that's probably why I'm very cynical. I even hate to sound like when I think of Dr. Greer. I'm a little turned off by Dr. Greer in the sense that I just don't think we're going anywhere with him, and I only have myself to blame for that, um, and I hate the fact that I have to look at somebody that's been out there promoting the thing, disclosure movement, and has brought some interesting fact-finding people that have been in well positions. And um, I guess I hate to say it like this because I love space, obviously, duh. And I guess I'm just getting to that point. I'm turned off by a lot of these people. Now, there are people out there that I look at and think, well, okay, I think he's pretty valid. Travis Walton is one. I've listened to him many times, and I don't feel like his story changes all that well. I mean, all that doesn't change all that much, and so I give him more of a benefit of doubt, just like Whitley Strieber. Wow, I mean, a lot of information there, and one might say that he has a great imagination. I mean, he is a book writer. Prior to that, I believe he did The Howling, and boy, that was a freaky movie. But Whitley Strieber is definitely one of those that I listen to his stories and very compelled by what he tells out there. And it's always an interesting story when he's on, whether it be Coast to Coast or Fade to Black. And of course, a lot of the information that I like to listen to is on Fade to Black. And there's some good people on Fade to Black that a lot of that stuff I enjoy listening to. And I think Jimmy is pretty fair as far as his interview skills and getting the information across. And um, So I enjoy listening to, and plus his intro is just rocking. Who doesn't love that intro to Fade to Black? And it's he's always been a righteous dude with me. So and then plus he's got the guitar wall. Um, he ended up buying one of my guitars that I wrote the song Fader Not One. So I have um, a special reason why I like to check his videos out when I'm watching look at the wall of guitars, like I've contributed in some way. And but anyway, back to the conspiracy of UFOs and things like that. I don't know. I'm just ready for disclosure, and I'm a big boy. Just present the evidence, and let's see where we go from there. I don't know if you feel the same way, but yeah, just in chat uh, that someone put in there is too optimistic for me, and it doesn't show who that is. That kind of bumming me out. Let me try this again. All right. Oh, I see. It's Sir Lana in there in the chat room, in the Facebook chat room. Hey, Sir Lana. I know you're listening in the other room. I just wanted to say that I figured out how to get us on YouTube, Live, and Facebook at the same time. We're broadcasting on all three. It's pretty exciting. This new program I'm using, it's called melon.com, and it's a thing where you can do video interviews. At some point, it'd be nice to do video interviews. We can only hope and dream in the future that that happens, and we'll just see how that goes, and life will be good. My favorite phrase. I hate to sound like a parrot, but it is what it is. That's another phrase. Um, yes, I figured it out. I figured I had to open up the chat window inside the Facebook thing so I know who was going on. Yes, I'm pretty cool. I hook you up when I can and fed you today, and I keep forgetting what we ate. I guess it wasn't that memorable. It'll come to me. Hey, Solana, why don't you call in 832-831-9125 so you could test the phone system. This is a perfect way to do our tech support. So, oh, she's giving me the eyeballs on the chat window. Oh, that's right. I had hot dogs. I had Polish dogs. I like the beef hot dogs, but they got to be stadium dogs if I eat the beef. But Polish dogs are much more tastier with a little mustard on it. And James Coney Island, if you don't have it, it's basically um, hot dogs, hamburgers, pretty tasty. Um, and I had some onion rings. Their onion rings are off the roof. They're not too overly breaded. They're kind of small end, and so they're not so oily, which I like. And then they provide you a sauce. It's yellowish. It's like a cross between mayonnaise and mustard, but not necessarily with those tastes. I'd say more with the consistency. It's like mustard with a mayonnaise consistency, and it's don't. I know if you're rolling your eyes or doing one of those cat moments where the cat sniffs something and wants to barf. Trust me, the sauce is delicious. Finish that off like lickety split, and that's right. She had Burger King. She loves Burger King. She's a Burger King fanatic, and she can't get enough of Burger King. I We had Burger King the other day, and they have a new breaded chicken sandwich. I tried that out, and it was quite tasty. I enjoyed it immensely, and so I'm not a big burger fan. I don't like to have it all the time. Solana makes a decent hamburger, but she uses the George Foreman grill for what it's worth. And can't believe I made it almost 30 minutes. It's a miracle, ladies and gentlemen. We'll have to celebrate. And let's see. No phone work. Oh, what do you mean? Your phone, or what? You can't dial a phone number, or what's the deal, Solana? Waiting for her to respond, catch up. So can you hear? Is the streaming okay, Solana? I know that at the beginning of the program, people were talking about how the programming was a little reverby, and we experienced that last time. Hear the neighbor kids making me mad. Yeah, I'm definitely an old man. Dang, neighbor kids, get off my yard. Maybe if I straightened up the studio a little bit, it'll probably reduce some of the echo in the background. But well, I wasn't looking at the thing, so try it again. See, you're only getting half the argument, ladies and gentlemen. We might get a call here in just a minute from Solana. We'll see here. I'm just waiting for it to light up like a Christmas tree. Come on, Solana. 832-831-9125. I wasn't paying attention. I was going down the rabbit hole in my own thoughts. But you're hearing it? Is that correct? Hmm. Yeah, Jim, you go through these things where you set up some new equipment and everything is off kilter by like 1 degree, and you're trying to go through everything with a fine tooth comb to try to figure out what's going on because you don't have a studio person to help you out. Oh, here we go. Can you hear me now?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was trying to call the number for the meat market.
That sounds about as funny as Ken
Your
and.
your dad jokes. Yeah, I say you feel my pain now.
Well, I thought it was funny when Ken and Sparky did it. Hold on just a second. What, we lost each other. What's going on here?
I didn't do nothing.
Okay. You're probably dipping away um, from a thing. Yeah, Jim, I appreciate your feedback. I respect that, and I'll definitely look into that. Hey, that's Jim Malliard on our chat room, Solana.
I know. I was thinking blast from the past, man.
Yeah. So, everyone, here's the lovely Solana. Solana, do you have any feedback you want to uh,
Um,
present or talk about or say some things that I've done?
I'm not there because I'm having some back pain, intermittent,
Hmm. Her
and
back,
you know why.
yeah, her back pain apparently is worse than mine. I'm not a woman. I can't identify.
Well, no, you personally know why because you know what's been going on this week, right?
Yes, and I try not to bring your medical issues into the program. The only
It's
person
one
that,
one. Who cares anyway?
well,
You know,
as as I told everybody, Solana, is that they love you and they miss you, and I really wish you were back in the saddle and along with your.
I don't know who paid him to say that, but
Mm. So
uh, yeah, I'm calling from the bedroom on my cell phone.
you already
The
ate
cat is here with me.
ate your snack
Yes,
tray.
yes, I did. I had some turkey and Triscuits. I bought some Triscuits.
I love this. Jim Malliard says, "Yeah, I'm always around in the shadows." Just like
we
your husband,
we
right?
were we were on that's Jim. Yeah, uh, we were on last Saturday together, and I think Alan was there
Mm.
and who else was there?
Yeah, Nethead showed up a little bit
Tanner,
earlier. Yeah, yeah, Tanner, and then we got
and they
Christopher.
seemed to enjoy us just bickering,
Well,
nothing else.
that's the a lot of people don't know, or maybe if they go back in their memory bank of the archives of way back, when I talked about the genesis of this program, we used to make your dad laugh when we would go some places, and I thought, that would probably make a pretty dang funny show if us going back and forth
I
and
still I still make my dad laugh when I call him. But I just want to say something. You were talking about Stephen Greer,
yeah.
correct? Um, now that I've delved into his content, but I'm familiar enough that he's got this nice, pretty package, positive experience with
Right.
non-humans. Let's put it that way,
Phrasing.
and that he leads people on these sabbaticals to go communicate with them at night. And I think if I don't know if there's money involved in that, like,
Right.
hey, give me $300 and I'll take you to talk to some aliens. If that's the case, then I'm like, But if it's just he's doing it like, hey, just just show up and we'll do it. That's different stories, so I don't know which way he does it.
Let me ask you this: do you feel like it's kind of like he comes across the extreme like this as a charlatan?
That I don't know.
You know how it's
I here's what I do believe.
okay.
I do believe he was an actual medical doctor.
Mm-hmm. That's a
That's as
fact.
far as it can go.
Yeah.
Now I have watched a lot of his content. In fact, I've said this many times. I said it last Saturday. I like a good story. It doesn't have to be true for me to enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not putting the guy on trial or anything. I'm just saying I don't know. And my favorite, most favorite story in this whole genre is Andrew Bashago.
Right. You
And
talk
that's
about
the
him
most
all the time.
whacked out, way out story there is. That's way beyond what Greer's doing. And I'm like, I don't care. I want to hear it again. It's like a good bedtime story.
Well, it's like you. I've heard so many different stories, and there are people that come across legitimately in their storytelling. Like, and I keep on bringing up Preston Dennett. When I listen to him, has a very calm demeanor. It's presented in a very organized fashion, and I find him believable. Even like when I brought up Travis Walton. Travis Walton, very believable. His story doesn't waver in any way, fashion, or form.
Well,
Even
the ones who have had they say they've had direct witness contact or abduction or that
Mhm.
kind of thing. Um, I would tend to kind of lean towards them, but the ones who are like, okay, this happens to me, I'm going to go on this circuit and charge people to hear my story.
Mhm.
I don't I don't know about that, especially if it wasn't a good experience. I don't know. Maybe because I'm a different person, I'd be traumatized to keep it to myself. But that's just me.
Well, I got to be honest. If I had a story like that, and if people wanted to hear me, and involved me going somewhere, I wouldn't mind a little expense paid for what me going that way and for a little bit of my time.
Mm.
Um, you know, I'm taking the time out of my schedule to present it. Uh, I don't know, and I'm not knocking those people going those tours and ducks and stuff like that.
We into them.
Yeah,
We pay to go.
there's some of those I have seen that are like, all right, I get that little smirk, half of my lip going up, like, mm-hmm. And then there are others that like, yeah, I want to hear more of the story, kind of thing. Where can I get more information on this? There are people out there, like you brought up Richard Dolan. Um, he has
He's
a
sort of the goat of that world because I guess maybe because he's so highly educated and
mhm,
prolific, is a prolific writer,
right.
and he has a more academic slash analytic approach to everything. I don't feel like he's like let's hold hands and sing songs and kind of galactic view
Yeah,
of the
do aliens
universe.
have cellulite kind of thing?
Yeah.
But no, so we definitely agree on that level. And it's kind of like the thing about the false prophets kind of thing. You're going to have false prophets out there. For one reason or another, they got baked out in the sun in the desert, and um, they just believe in just about everything. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And but then you've got those who, like I said, who tell the story. I don't know if they're just great liars or if they are legitimate and
They're good
um,
actors.
yeah, good actors. See here,
I have not heard. Of course, I haven't been actively pursuing research.
let me quickly do a shout out. Christopher, it's so great for you to come. Send me a DM message. Let me know how you're doing. Just I'd love to hear from you, and I'll respond in kind, and we'll go from there.
I try to look into the ecology topic and much and much because I actually don't know where to look. I don't like what website to do. I'll be honest, because I don't know what's the latest thing out there because everything I know at this point is sort of been recycled over the last 50 years.
Right. I mean, it's kind of like what I was saying earlier. Is like, look, just come down now, get it over with. Let's pull the band-aid off the sore and deal with the alien conspiracy head on. And
Yeah, the last thing I listened to was sort of a review of something I'd already heard of, but not fully, was the Jim Sparks thing. And I know that's old hat,
Mm-hmm.
but I actually listened to a really long, in-depth interview he did years ago on, I guess, maybe Coast to Coast. And that kind of thing where he reports, they take him to educate him, whether he wants it or not. They
Right.
forcibly educate him
Mm-hmm.
and say, you've got to get this message out to your people. And I'm like, well, why can't you just come down here and do it? It feels like he's not, here's what he's not saying. It feels like this is all true. They're setting this up. They're like, you've got to take care of your planet and get it in pristine condition so we can take it over without having to do all this work.
Right.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, I was talking about that earlier. Like, I feel like there's some kind of misdirection going on because they're telling us this is what you got to do and blah blah blah, and then when you ask them for like help of any kind, it's like, oh, we can't interfere.
Well,
What?
these ones that he encountered were like, you are not allowed to ask questions. If you do, we're going to take all the oxygen out of the room, and so they would do punishment and reward, and they were also kind of snarky,
Hmm. That was kind
like
of
you
like
say.
with Barney and Betty Hill story, where Betty, I guess they presented her a book and she wanted to take it as like proof that, um, you know, that they had actually been abducted and they're, proof of her visitation. And they were about to give it to her, and then they turned around and said, "No, we can't give you that." And she became upset about that. And it's just another uh, point to the fact that these
I
aliens.
read that book long ago,
Mhm.
so long I can't quite remember all details.
Did you enjoy the Dulce War book? I mean,
Well, it's
can.
hard to say enjoy because that's some pretty dark, effed up content.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, the experience of reading it, that might be, that kind of stuff in book form might be why I listen to creepy pastas and these stories at night that I have no business listening to in the dark when I'm trying to fall asleep.
Mm-hmm. There's
You know what I'm
been a
saying?
few of those that I've enjoyed. I haven't gotten back into it. I usually go down the rabbit hole on Nuke's top five and try
Well, I'm
to.
about somebody reading a story that takes an hour or more
Right. I get what you're saying.
on
Uh,
YouTube.
what was it? There was another one.
Mostly it's about skinwalkers and Wendigo and
Mhm.
like scary made up cryptids and things that are super implausible that don't bother me because they're not real. Encounters, camping, and alone in the woods, hiking. Circumstances I'll never do, so
Mhm.
those don't scare me. 'Cause I'll never be camping, hiking, or in the woods. So,
Well, circling back to Nuke's top five, there was a couple of them that they were at a camping site, and apparently there was some kind of alien-looking thing behind a tree and freaked out the campers.
oh,
And
yeah. Was that the French one?
no, but
There's one of them.
it
It happened in France.
might have been. It's been so long
They
since
had
I've
a
seen that one.
campfire and they were near a little abandoned structure, but they were hanging out outside and they just like you just think they were just standing around drinking and having a good time and there's this little thing that peeps out and they're like that just totally derailed the evening right there. So
No, that's a different one that I'm thinking of. But the other one was there was just a group of people. They were around a campfire, and there was one of the campers that were close to the tree got freaked out, and then there was this alien popped its head off to the side and freaked out, and then they all went to look at the tree, and apparently there was nothing there. It totally gone. Um,
that the alien probably wanted a beer.
yeah, it was his off hour, and it was ready for a brewski.
Stingy humans wouldn't share.
Yep, it's always the human's fault. But yeah. Anything else that you can think of on this topic?
Have you seen any good sci-fi movies or TV shows that are recommend worthy
I have not
lately?
have not seen anything. Well, I talked about Nobody. Apparently, you don't know that I saw it when it came out. Apparently, it came out and did the rental and watched it with Bob Odenkirk.
You told me about that.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I enjoyed it.
I didn't know that was sci-fi.
No, I was just bringing up. You said movies I'd seen. The only thing I've really recently done is, I love my audiobooks. There's a new Alien book out there called Alien Infiltrator, and takes place on this planet, and it's an outpost, and you have these scientists doing experiments, and these aliens take on special characteristics, and it was a pretty good not read, a pretty good listen. It took me a couple of nights to get through it. Just for the simple fact that the audiobook is like over 8 hours long, so you get
Oh,
half of it and then kind of pass out. And I'll wake up early in the morning and pot it up to halfway and then listen to the other rest of the way through, and then I'll go back and kind of listen to certain chapters just to see what I missed, and like what happened here, and
it would take me a month to get through that because I'd be falling asleep in 30 minutes, and I have to like can only listen to it 30-minute increments.
well, that's sometimes what you do. It was kind of like when I downloaded The Martian and listened to that before the movie came out. That particular audiobook is like over 10 hours long. And I think at the time, I was going to listen to it on our journey to California to Contact at the Desert. And I listened to part of it, but ended up not listening to the rest of it until I got back home in Texas. So let me throw something.
That was a good movie.
Yeah, it was good. There's nothing out there sci-fi, space worthy that I've seen preview wise. The only thing that's on my agenda is David Batista is going to be in a Netflix movie, and it has zombies in it. And
Oh,
apparently, these people come to hire him to do a job, and you find out that Las Vegas is a totally, it's like a zombie trap. Bunches of zombies, and he's going with a team to get all this money that's in a vault in Las Vegas, ultimately. And he takes the job, and he has to do battles with these zombies and things. And it looks pretty interesting. You're not a zombie person, but
no, the zombies just for the mess out of me. So
mhm. Yeah, I'm struggling to try to think. Oh, I did see Love and Monsters, which is kind of interesting. And what happened was this meteorite or meteor was heading towards Earth, and we apparently blew it up. But a side effect of it, it rained some kind of chemical down on the Earth and turned bugs and different things into these giant monsters. And a lot of people lost their life because the monsters ate them and killed him. And so it was kind of interesting. It was about this guy who was kind of a wimp, but right when the issue came down, he was dating this girl, and the girl went with her family, and they went to some outpost towards the coastline, and he stayed pretty close to where he lived. His parents got killed, and so he
don't spoil it for everybody.
well, there's a lot more meat on the bone here, if you will, for people to watch. But the monsters are pretty interesting. You don't want to do battle with some of these monsters. I will say he was almost killed by a gigantic frog, and he makes friendship with a dog, and it's kind of like you know he. He makes his own through the universe or through the wilderness, and I thought it was good. It's definitely worth a watch. Monsters and Love and Monsters. But me, I'm always looking for a sci-fi movie to watch. But
Like a romance movie.
the thing is, my cousin Cindy is always posting these things about different horror movies. And I saw one something raccoons and how they were trying to kill people, and it was one of the funny movies.
That movie's been out a while, I think. I
What?
know what you're talking about. Raccoon thing.
I'm not talking about the other one.
No, this is raccoon.
Well, this was yeah,
I don't know anything about psychotic.
yeah, that movie was called Zombie Beavers.
No,
You're laughing. It's always a good sign.
I'm trying not to talk about it. I'm just gonna think about Bucky's. I'll just think about Bucky's.
But yeah, the other one about raccoons. Uh, it's a Christmas thing, and I've recommended it to my cousin to watch. But my cousin has always been into scary movies, like so is my uncle. Especially now that I bring Uncle up, Uncle Joe, I got to talk to him, and he sends
Yeah.
his best to the audience. And um, maybe at some point he'll join on to the conversation at one time, and we'll have a rip going time, and hear what he has on his plate, and listen to some of his stories and thoughts and beliefs. And um, it'd be good to have him on the show.
Mhm. Now that the phone works,
Yeah. So, how does it sound when you listen to me on the phone?
it's clear. It's a little the quality is more toward analog, but it's fine.
Mhm.
I'm not getting any static. I'm not getting any echo. I'm not getting any well, there's a little, but that could be from my headphones on this side. So
Well, how do I sound? Do I sound groovy?
you sound like you're on the phone, like a landline phone.
Right. That's normal because we're doing an analog line. It's not voice over IP.
No, it's not that bad. But I mean, you can a lot of cutting out or static.
Good. Still need to what
There's still a place in our world for an analog phone, especially if we have EMP.
well, an EMP is going to take out for cable in our computers, so it'll be like
That's why you need a traditional
thanks
old school,
thanks for all the
not a
fix.
digital.
Yeah, I tore our wiring out for the old line.
Yeah,
So, have you enjoyed kicking it back in the bed and having this conversation?
yeah. If I could do the show like this, or I just lay on my heating pad, you could do that.
Did you take any special things?
I'm trying to wait as long as I can so you can monitor me.
Well, if I take my pill, I might not be able to monitor you.
Oh,
I also need to eat some food, and probably do that here in a few minutes here.
okay.
So do you think you would join us next time, Solana?
It depends on what happens to me between in and there. I must, like I said, I start taking this new medication tonight, and I don't know what's going to happen. It's got some dire warnings like don't drive, don't pass out, don't, this could happen to you, this could happen to you. I'm like, oh, great. But don't drink alcohol, don't try to lift machines or operate machines.
Don't pat your stomach and pat your head at the same time. Rub your stomach
Yeah,
and pat your head.
yeah. Stay away from math, all that stuff. So,
So, Solana, if somebody needed some groovy music,
well, I'm going to assume that spaceboymusic.com is still out there. I hope so.
it is.
I really do. Because if it's still there, spaceboymusic.com, you can go down there and just have to download, you can listen right there on the site. But if you did want to download something and it's absolutely free, why would you want to do that? Why would you share it with your friends and family or even your enemy to show them what superior taste in music you have? And so that is spaceboymusic.com, one word, lowercase. Go there now and go on a little adventure and treat yourself.
Also, remember your code.
One thing
Also,
you never have to worry about is me hyping you up for your music.
yeah, you did good. You did the commercial. I appreciate you. The thing to emphasize is all the music on the website is free. Just don't use it for commercial use. If you want to use it for a commercial use application, contact me at contact@spaceboyuniverse.com, and we can come to some kind of arrangement. Sometimes it's as simple as putting me in a credit and acknowledging the music was used by or constructed by Spaceboy and where to find it. I'm not one of these record executives that are looking to make a bunch of money on it. It's just something I enjoy doing or enjoyed. Hopefully,
Yeah.
one day I'll get back in the saddle of that one. There's another catchphrase from Spaceboy, and make some more groovy music. This COVID thing has just zapped me, and not me getting COVID, just the whole state of the universe that's out there in our nation right now. And ooh, I got a story to tell you, Solana, but not now until we're completely off the air dealing with hamburger meat or just meat in general. You're gonna love this story.
I don't want to know.
It's not anything that's gonna make you sick to your stomach in the sense of ugh, grody.
Is it? Am I going to have to break it with Burger King or something? I mean,
No, you'll probably say it's time for Texas to succeed from the nation.
well, I've been saying that for 10 years.
Yeah, it took you almost your whole lifetime to get here.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to hit the outro button and get us on out of here. Hope you've enjoyed this program tonight. Tune in next Saturday at 6 p.m. I want to thank Nedhead, Christopher, K28 for showing up. Jim Malyard was in the house. We appreciate you, my
Woo.
friend. Yeah, woohoo. And we'll be here next Saturday. So join us then on the old Spaceboy Universe program. And remember, we love you all. And like I said, I love a good, tasty Canadian and with a little maple syrup. And I guess Solana just couldn't wait to say goodbye to you, but I know she loves y'all in spirit. So see y'all next week.